Hey, welcome to the video. I'm Melissa, I write books. It is Wednesday today and we have another ambitious day. So if you didn't watch yesterday's video, we are in quite the strait here at the Alyssa and the Books household. It's really fine. It really is like not a big deal at all, but it is gonna be more work than I initially thought. So I just need to make it clear. I'm on draft like 10. Like this book has already been queried. Just so we're all on the same page. I am in a mentorship program right now with it. So I pulled my queries, I pulled my fulls that I have out, and I'm doing an edit with my mentor, who is a traditionally published romance author. And she didn't even bring this up, to be honest. Like she had brought up like this issue that I'm trying to solve. It's not even really an issue. It's not, see, this is the thing. It's not like, oh no, I found a plot hole and I need to fix it. There is a more streamlined, effective way to have this portion of the book happen that doesn't change. It's not like changing the plot. It just makes it more clear. It's not even really that huge of a change. It just does require me to write another new scene, but it's not really a new scene. It's like it's like two old scenes being condensed into one scene. If you want more details, I don't really even know if yesterday's video was all that helpful in giving you more details, to be honest, because it's very confusing if you haven't read the book, which is like 99.99999% of you have not read this book. So what this means is instead of reading through the whole chapter 8 through chapter 14, which was what I intentionally had planned for the day, I'm going to be rewriting I think it's chapter 11. I was originally going to try to like combine 11 and 13, and I think I still will take some of the things from there, but I think part of the reason I was confusing myself with like what her actual thought process is because I was trying to take thought processes from different versions of the book, like different versions of the scene where she had different thought processes. I was like just trying to salvage it. And so I would keep like putting it together, and then it would be like her thought process would be different in different points of the chapter. And it was just starting to get confusing, and I started to get confused. Brielle started to get confused. We were all just getting confused about like, how does this all work? Like in terms of like her thought process and in terms of the debate. We're in the debate part of the book right after the 25% mark, and I think the issue was like this part of the book felt like it was dragging, and part of that was because it's just like a wordier section of the book. It needed to be condensed, but also because I think Danny's debate goes on for too long. Like she tries too many things before just deciding to do the thing that propels her into act 2. And so if you missed last night's video, yesterday's video, essentially I'm just trying to pare down, instead of her like trying this thing, going this place, trying this other thing, and lying about this piece of information and doing all this song and dance, she's just doing the more logical thing of like actually bringing the information that she found out, which was sort of like her, I think it sort of is her catalyst. She's taking this piece of information that she learned about Cal and she's bringing it to her team and being like, hey, can we investigate this guy? And they're like, no. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna do this fake dating thing secretly. Whereas before it was like she never actually told her police colleagues like this information that probably would have caused them to investigate, you know? So it just makes a little bit more logical sense. And I think I have all of the thought processes nailed down, but before I even go and write this new scene, I need to go back to all the scenes where this investigation is introduced and just make sure that the thought process aligns with the new version of the debate. And I think it should. I might add a line or two about like a certain connection she's made prior to learning this information. I might add that, but I'm just gonna kind of read and see how it feels. And then I'm going to, I think, open a new document and just write up this scene. And then after I write it, I'm gonna read the old 2 versions of the scene to see like, what can I take from here, but also to see, is there information, breadcrumbs, etc. introduced here that I need to include for the rest of the book to make sense? Because what's scary about making a change like this so late into the drafting process and so early into the book, like we're not even to the 100-page mark, like we're in the first we're in act 1, end of act 1 basically, the beginning of act 2, is that so you pull one string, this whole book could fall apart. And I really don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be fine because Dani still ends up making the same decision with the same information. She's just thinking about it. She just like streamlined how she got there. So I don't think it should have any major ripple effects, but I need to be really diligent and look at what was in those chapters, what could possibly happen by changing it. But I have a feeling that just streamlining things down a little bit in this section is gonna make it like so much easier for the reader to buy into her decision as well. Because right now, I think the way that the book had existed before, it was like, we weren't super, like, it would be easy for someone to be like, well, why wouldn't she just do this thing? I don't understand why she needs to do this whole fake dating thing when she has this other option that she hasn't explored. And so I could see readers potentially being like, really? I think the fake dating is feeling a little forced. But in the way that I'm changing it, I think it will be like, okay, this is really her only option to investigate this thing. I fixed the problem in my head. Now I need to fix the problem on the page, which is the hard part. So I think I made a checklist in my delusional haze last night, so we'll see if I can find that. I'm just having some immediate thoughts on what I need to do. So first I need to, really tricky at this point because everything I add in needs to be of the same quality as the draft 9 material. And you know what's funny is like after this, the next thing I need to do is like read through this whole section. Honestly, maybe read from not the first chapter, but like chapter 4 even, just to make sure everything that I'm changing is cohesive. I think I'm also gonna bring in Brielle potentially to read through, or maybe Andy because she had, or somebody who hasn't read it, just to read through act 1 and see what the vibes are. I'm definitely going to have beta readers who have never read the book before read it. Which will be like draft 5 of, or round 5 of beta readers at this point, which is like diabolical behavior. I know I keep saying diabolical and I don't care and I'm gonna keep saying it and maybe I should make merch about it. Anyway, so that's what's intimidating to me right now is just like there's a lot at stake. There is a lot. But I need to not think of it as like every sentence I need to put, like I think I'm gonna open a new document, write this scene, edit the scene. And then after that, the literal next thing I need to do is write another new scene. So we're just gonna cry together and it's gonna be fine. I just wanna write a different book. I wanna finish this book strong and I want it to make sense, but I think I'm at a point where like, it's really hard to see the book as it is because there's been so many versions of it. There's so many different drafts. There's so many different like things and it's hard to see the book as it is because Brielle would be asking me like, well, does she connect Cal to her parents right away? And I'm like, I have no idea because she did at one point and I know there are points in the book where she does connect him and so it's like, but remembering like what point in this draft do I have her connecting that piece it's just hard to keep track of. And so I think I'm going to try to be really intentional. I'm going to make maybe a whiteboard or a Notion page or something of here is when she connects this, here's when she connects Cal, here's when she connects this other thing, just to really have it be super duper 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 clear of all of the connections for me. And I wrote the darn people. I wrote these people. Why are they betraying me? So that is what's going on. That is the task for today. Do I think I can finish that all today? Delusionally, yes. Realistically, no. No way. Absolutely no way. But maybe. I'm gonna write a bit on my lunch and then I have another writing session with my friend Rachel tonight, so I will be doing that. I also have quite a bit of video editing to do today and my job. So it's just really gonna be a push. But also I wanna be chill and relaxed and not go crazy. And I wanna have a good time and do a puzzle and go to the pool and be a normal operating human being with friends, you know? So that is the goal for today. Moving forward, I'm not gonna put like, I wanna finish the chapter. I wanna work on this chapter today. I would like to have something of it. It doesn't need to be done. Okay, let's do it. Pump it up. is 5. I just went on a walk after doing some writing. Oh, I haven't updated you. So what I have been doing, I know I just said that I was going to rewrite the scene from scratch, but upon further reflection, I'm not gonna do that. I think I've been listening to a lot of people talking about like how freeing it is to just write something new and how you don't need to try to salvage old pieces of drafts. And while I think that that is like really good advice and that like I'm going to do that still for the original chapter 15, I'm just going to rewrite it totally. But this chapter specifically, I was thinking about, okay, what's happening in this chapter that I would need to rewrite? And I thought about the order of it. And the order of it is she tries to look up this thing. Her team comes in and is like, Danny, what's going on? Like, why are you looking this up? And she explains the connection. That would be a new piece, would be her explaining the connection. And then her team kind of shuts it down, claiming that she's like gone down this road before and that it's like not smart for her to do this. And then Danny gets emotional about it. But she kind of sucks it up. She's like, whatever. And then everybody kind of feels pity for her and she hates that. And she's like, no, this is not me. This is not the same thing. This is a new thing that's happening. And what I realized was within the original chapter 10 and chapter 13, almost all of those pieces are there in terms of like large sections of interiority that introduce threads that go throughout the rest of the book, large sections of description and dialogue that like thread in all these things that directly get called back to. And there's like full pages that are intact that do this work and do it well. Like I've already edited that are like draft 9 quality sections. And I realized that it would the reason I was thinking of rewriting it was because I thought it would be just like a piece of dialogue here, a piece of interiority here that I'd be trying to scrap together. And in reality, it's like 2 pages of solid material, and then I need to like thread it together and like add in a connecting maybe 2 paragraphs, and then there's another like 4 paragraphs of intact interiority and description. And there's like, I would say 3 different large chunks of text that I work and accomplish the same thing. And so all I would really need to change about them is like tweak a few pieces of interiority and add in one of the versions, it's just Patrick talking to her. And so I would just need to like add in a character and adjust things as they come up. But I don't find it necessary at this point to like redo all of this good work, because a lot of it is like setting up, because it's early. We're in chapter 10, like setting up a lot of like Danny's character arc, or it's like an important part of her arc, the way that it's written. And so I'm going to try to keep most of it. And I deleted anything that for sure didn't fit. And what I'm going to say is then I took a break. It's been about an hour since I've been writing. And it's 5 o'clock, and I'm actually sprinting with my friend Rachel again tonight from 6 to 8. Then I'm going to the pool. Okay, you hear me? I'm going to the pool tonight. But I'm sprinting with my friend Rachel from 6 to 8, and I think I'm gonna like I did this work of putting all these pieces in the right order, and when I get into that session, I'm going to type and edit through this whole thing and connect it really nicely. And I'm not going to be afraid of the delete button. If there's a piece of dialogue that doesn't work, I'm going to delete it and rewrite it. If there's a section of interiority that I have to change too much of it to fix it, I'm going to delete it and rewrite it. So I'm still not going to be afraid of the delete button. I'm going to, like, if something doesn't fit, I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to write through and see how it feels. And then I will also need to read through the next chapter, because originally part of what's happening in this chapter happened after the next chapter. So I just need to read through the next chapter again and edit some things and then like go back through. But I think it works out really nicely, because after I do this, fix chapter 10 and chapter 11, Then I will be up to chapter 15, another new scene I need to write, because I essentially am deleting chapter 13. Chapter 13 will become chapter 14 and chapter, and on and on and on. So my plan for today was that I was going to go back and read chapters 8 through 14. And so that's still the next thing I'm going to do after I write through this scene, read through it again, edit, make sure it feels cohesive and that it matches the plan that I made. And then I'm going to look back on all of my deranged notes from last night and make sure I from all of the 17 checklists I made about things to make sure to do, I'm going to make sure that fits. And then I'm going to go back to, I think even before chapter 5, I think I'm going to go back to chapter 2 potentially and read 2 through chapter 14, tightening, editing. I think that might take a few days to do that read through, tightening, making sure everything feels really cohesive. But that is the plan. So I'm hoping to get through all of that tonight with Rachel. I think we could do it because I don't think it's going to be a ton of new words, but if I can't get through it, that's fine. I can finish it tomorrow. I'm trying not to put I have to do it at this time, at this place, with this perspective, any of that. So that is my current plan, strategy, scheme. I'm also going to start my period literally any day now. I'm kind of can we get on with it already? Why must we do this song and dance back and forth before I get it, And so just if you know anything about the female cycle, when you're right before your period and on your period, stress is higher, anxiety is higher, overthinking, existential dread is just a little bit higher. So I've just been kind of battling through that today too, and to have that and also have this difficult chapter that I'm annoyed about is really just not my favorite combination of things to ever happen in the world, but I think if I can get this scene to feel really good, I'm going to be really happy. But then I'm just going to be annoyed because I have to go back and read through all of it again. I think this is really, truly the first time I've done this deep of edits on Act 2, Part 1. I did a full rewrite of Act 1 in a draft. I did a full rewrite of Act 3 in a draft. I did a full rewrite of Act 2, Part 2 in a draft. And so it's Act 2, Part 1's time. It's Act 2, Part 1's time. And frankly, I should have seen it coming. And it's just funny because after this, the rest of Act 2, Part 1 is still kind of a mess. It's still kind of a mess. It's kind of worse than having to rewrite an ending because this is going to impact so much, but I'm trying to write it in a way that it matches and will flow well into the rest of the book. So just set up a prayer for me. I know it seems like I've been crashing out a lot recently, and I am. I turn 25 next week. It's time for my quarter life crisis, Shouldn't even say that out loud. Anyway, I think that's all I have to update you on because we're just finishing up the sprint and then I'm going to have dinner and then hop on the call. I only have about 50 minutes until that call. So hoping to have a good sized break. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you soon.
If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end, close a chapter dignified. Dang girl, you did it again. But will it ever be enough when I'm bent on trying to